Alright, so Rolex has had their moment now, watches and wonders. But what if I told you there was another brand that dropped two absolute heavy hitters that might just outshine Rolex? I've had to cover Rolex because you guys have been asking for me, but I'm so happy I can now move on to another brand, which is IWC. And there's two particular models in the Ingenieur range for 2025 that I have fallen in absolute love with. And I might just prefer them over the Rolex lineup. A bold statement, maybe. Before we do talk about it, I'll introduce myself again. I'm Jag from Jag's Watches, and this is a watch channel that posts 3 times a week. And if you're looking for watch content, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Really appreciate the support so far. So, before we get into the new releases, let's have a little history lesson, because I was very intrigued to know that the Ingenieur actually has been around since 1955, and it looked a lot different in its first iteration. It was built to withstand strong magnetic fields, making it a go-to for scientists, engineers, and people who like to pretend they were both. And fast forward to 1970s, the legend himself, Gero Genta, the man responsible for the Royal Oak and Nautilus, gave the Ingenieur its now iconic bracelet and that sporty industrial look we associate with it today. There is obviously a likeness to the Royal Oak and to the Nautilus to a certain extent with all these integrated bracelet watches, and now of course with the Land Dweller. But since then, I feel like the Ingenieur has been a bit of a sleeper hit. It's very understated compared to its competitors, and I feel like it has been overshadowed by the likes of the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. But it has been a model which has grown on me since its, I would like to call it, refresh last year with its Ingenieur 40 lineup. Now, I want to talk about 2 different models in particular. Now, the first model was called the Darth Vader by another creator called Brit Pierce. Now, you all must have heard of her. She commented on one of my videos, which was absolutely surreal. I've been watching her videos over the last couple of years, so thank you for the support, Brit. She labeled this watch the Darth Vader, and I have to say, as a Star Wars fan, I really hope it sticks. I absolutely love this watch. This has been executed perfectly. It's got the all-black look with a larger 42mm case. It's got that futuristic high-tech feel that IWC is known for. This one is definitely for someone who wants a modern take on the Ingenieur without the bling of gold. Now, certain watches that are all black sometimes just don't hit right, but the finishing on this, you can just tell, is beautiful. And even the sapphire case display back of this model is slightly tinted, so it falls in line with the general blacked out vibe of this watch, and I really like it. It is quite expensive. It's at £16,800, but it's to be expected because we're dealing with ceramic. We know that it's more scratch resistant than steel and a lot more difficult to manufacture and work with. So it's always going to be a lot more expensive than the steel versions of this model. We know the steel Ingenieurs are around £11,000. So to be honest, I did expect it to be around the £15,000-16,000 mark. I love this watch. Definitely a watch on my list now. Hopefully in the future, if life goes well, this will be on my list. Now, moving on to another model which honestly makes me feel very poor. The 5N Gold variant with the black dial. This is a beautiful watch. It is a statement piece. That deep black dial paired with the rich gold case is just pure class. 40mm diameter, automatic winding, and that classic Ingenieur aesthetic that Genta designed, but with a modern twist. This is full-on luxury sport watch territory. And honestly, I definitely prefer this to the new Rolex in the turquoise on Oyster Flex that was released today as well. Oh, sorry, yesterday. I would take this any day of the week. Now, this is a whopping £40,000. Now, IWC really make me feel a little poor. Honestly, I don't know who could go out on a random Monday evening, Monday morning, whatever it is, whatever day it is, I don't know what I'm talking about now, but could walk out and just spend £40,000 on a watch. But I would take this over that Tiffany blue, yellow gold Rolex all day long. This now moves on to the other question I had, which I wanted to ask everyone that was watching this video up until this point. Are these releases from IWC better than the Rolex? Would you take this Darth Vader over the Land Dweller? Now, honestly, in this moment, if you ask me if I would take the Land Dweller or the Darth Vader, I'm leaning towards the Darth Vader. I feel like it's definitely more in my lane. I like things that are more understated. If you ask me between the Tiffany blue, yellow gold Daytona Oyster Flex or this amazing Ingenieur Automatic from the 5N gold, it would be the IWC all day long. Let me know in the comments which ones you would pick out of the two. It doesn't always have to be a competition, but Rolex is so fresh in my mind because I've been making content on it over the last couple of days. Now, honestly, if I would have to buy one of these watches, it would be the Darth Vader, the ceramic version at 42mm. I do hope that it's not too big for my wrists. I have 6¾ inch wrists. I would want to get hands-on with this watch one day. I just love this watch, and I always say it on my channel, when you see a watch and you know you love it, it tends to stick with you and you always end up keeping an eye on it and hopefully seeing that price drop in the secondary market. But as usual, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that bell icon. A special shout out to Brit. Thank you for showing support to the channel. And I've been Jag from Jags Watches. Remember, timing is everything. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.